Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It's so wonderful to see everyone join this week's program. Today's Diwan is a special one. We're going to listen to some amazing Kirtan from some wonderful souls from around the globe. And we are also going to welcome our dear brother Sardar Mandeep Singh, Executive Director at Dasvandh Network. He will be joining us and sharing his vision and direction for the organization. He will be also available to take questions at the end of the program. So let's start today's program. We have three wonderful souls, Sdni, Amreen Kaur, Sardani, Gurneet Kaur, and Sardar Navtaaj Singh on tabla, and right from here, Southern California. And they will be doing two shabads. So let's enjoy the shabads. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much, dear Amreen, Gurneet, and Navtaaj, for such a beautiful Kirtan Sewa. We are so proud of you, and we really hope to have you guys back soon. Talking about Sewa, it's important to understand Sewa or selfless service is one of the primary tenets of Sikhi. Sikhi Sarup Sambhalna, Gurbani Parni, Samajhni, Ate Jina. Simran or meditation, earning honest living, Wand Ke Chakna, and Sewa are some of the very basic tenets of Sikhi. Sikhi Sarup Sambhalna, and it's for both men and women. This is a very essential part of calling yourself a Sikh. This acknowledgement of God's perfection. Gurbani Parni, Samajhni, Ate living it. Very important as well, because if you're not reading and understanding it, how will you live it? No one else's understanding or interpretation can truly help you build a relationship with Shabad Guru. If you are not reading it and understanding Gurbani, we are at a major loss. Let's continue this conversation, this thought, after a beautiful kirtan from our two young brothers, dearest Sardar Manchet Singh and Sardar Vigaas Singh from Suwaanee, Georgia. They are two blessed souls, and kudos to the parents for the time and effort they have put in for passing the Sikhi torch to their kids. So over to Manchet and Vigaas. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. नींद क्यों आई शाम सुंदर तज नींद क्यों आई शाम सुंदर तज नींद क्यों शाम सुंदर तज नींद क्यों क्यों आई शाम त्रास न देवे दो तर माई नींद क्यों आई श्याम सुंदर अज नींद क्यों श्याम सुंदर अज महामोहनी दुतालाई महामोहनी दुतालाई नींद गत पाई चरण शरण नमक गत पाई नींद क्यों आई शाम सुंदर तज नींद क्यों आई शाम सुंदर तज महामोहनी महामोहनी शाम सुंदर तज वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much, dear Manchet and Vigaas. So glad you could join, and thank you so much. We are looking forward to having you back again very, very, very soon. And now going back to the thought, next in the basic tenets of Sikhi comes meditation or Simran. Simran is the key to building the relationship with Waheguru Ji. Meditation is also the key for us to get aware of our journey, our follies, and staying truthful to self. Gurbani shows us that path, and our walking that path gets us home. Dharam di Kirit karni. Remember, the emphasis here is on the word dharam, meaning honest means. Kisi no lut ke nahi, galat kam karke nahi, through honesty. The reason this is highlighted is because in the world of Maya, it's so easy to slip and look for shortcuts. We'll continue with the thought after the wonderful Kirtan from another amazing family of Sardar Manohar Singh Ji, and joining him are his two sons, Sardar Kirit Singh and Sardar Teghpal Singh. They are joining us from all the way from Wembley, UK. Sardar Manohar Singh Ji has learned Kirtan from late Ustad Mohan Singh Ji Musapuri, and now have been learning Kirtan with Tanti Saj or string instruments from Ustad Surjit Singh Ji. So over to dear Manohar Ji and family for some wonderful Kirtan. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹਰ ਜਨ ਰਾਖੇ ਹਰ ਜਨ ਰਾਖੇ ਹਰ ਜਨ ਰਾਖੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much, dear Manohar Singh Virji and family, for the beautiful Kirtan. Oh, I almost forgot. Congratulations to dear Kirit, who recently got married. May Waheguru Ji be your guide in this new phase of life. Congratulations to the entire family as well. So, continuing with our tenets of Sikhi, we had covered Sikhi, Sarup Sambhalna, Gurbani Parni, Samajhini, and living it, Simran or meditation, and earning through honest means. Next to tie with what our special guest and his organization, the Swan Network, is doing. Wandke Chakna, or sharing with others. It's a must that the Sikh shares 1/10 of their earnings and help those in need. It doesn't need to go to Gurdwara or a particular organization. It can go to anyone in need. That sharing, when done without any expectations in return, is also considered a Sewa or selfless service. Sewa, when done selflessly, makes us humble, grateful, and kind, leading us back home to Waheguru Ji. Gurbani is telling us that Sewa karat hoye neh kami, tisko hot parapat swami. On that note, let's welcome dear Sardar Mandeep Singh, the Executive Director of the Swan Network, to come and share about the amazing things this organization is doing. At the end of his presentation, he will be available for questions. We appreciate his staying up late for the Sangat, so over to Mandeep. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thanks to donors like you, Sikh activists have been able to fight many legal cases defending and safeguarding religious freedom, provide financial assistance to 110 suicide-affected families of farmers, feed more than 10,000 people from all backgrounds during a global pandemic, sponsor the education of hundreds of low-income students, and support thousands of underprivileged and disabled folks with safe housing and medical care. The Dasvandh Network is an online crowdsourcing platform where you can discover many causes in a secure, trusted, and easy way. Make a contribution and join the movements that are changing the world. The Dasvandh Network, making giving easier and amplifying the impact of your Dasvandh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Mandeep Singh and I'm the Executive Director of the Swan Network. Thank you so much for taking the time today to learn about us and our organization. I hope you enjoyed our 1-minute quick video that gives a big overview of what we generally do. And I'm grateful to have your ears today to learn more and specifically about our vision, what we've done so far and where we plan to go. Grateful to be in your Sangat. What is the Swan Network? I know the video got to the gist of this a little bit, but where did we really start and get this idea for the organization that we are today? We started about 11 years ago when our founders felt that the community could increase the amount that they can give. We know that the concept of giving 1/10 of our earnings back into society is ingrained in Sikh values and teachings and lessons. But we felt like there wasn't an easy, reliable way to give to those causes that were led by Sikhs for the Sikh community, but also in the concept of Sarbat Tapala for across the various different causes and communities that might need our help. So on one side, we felt like Sangat could give more and give more this fund, hence our hashtag of inspire giving. But on the other side, we also knew that organizations and Sevadars need funds for the incredible work that they're doing. Seva needs financing for any different venture and any different cause that we're doing. And so by creating the Dasvandh Network, our vision was to get people to donate and give their Dasvandh, but also give to causes that they care about, that they're interested in, that are reliable and accountable and transparent. And so that's where we really started 11 years ago, trying to meet the gap that exists for both of these sides of the equation. So what is our vision? Our vision is for all Sikhs to give this fund, but not just to give this fund to anything. It's to give this fund in support of high impact activism that is aligned with Sikh values to address the challenges that we as Sikhs face, but also the broader community face. The key here is that it's not just about giving and giving blindly. It's about giving where we know the impact is going to be strong and the money is going to be used well to go on and to meet this concept of this fund and Sewa that our gurus taught us so well. So how do we really do this? You might ask, how do we get people to inspire this fund? How can people give this fund? How do organizations really benefit? What we're really trying to do is we're trying to simplify giving and make it to curated charitable projects. And we're doing that through accountability, transparency, trust. And that happens on our website. So most nonprofits, for their website will raise funds for their singular venture and their vision they're doing. Our website, dvnetwork.org, is really actually just a tool where people can list their projects, activists can list their projects, and the Sangat can go and donate. Right now, that's our main projects and main product in the way that we do fundraising. But down the line, we're working on different projects where we have the idea of auto this fund, where you can pick up amount and criteria that you want, and we'll automate your giving. Or a donor advised fund that's geared specifically to Sikh-led activists and organizations. That's part of our general vision. But our bread and butter in this moment is really our website, dvnetwork.org. As you watch this, I highly encourage you to go ahead and click around, go on the website, see what's around there. As you can see, you hop in here, you can go and see different groups and projects that are being featured. You can go explore which categories you care about based on what you would like to give to or want to know what's happening. There's also these other tags of what's popular right now, what's getting close to its goal. What are some latest things? What are things that were just funded? On our website, you can go ahead and explore, as a donor, you can go ahead and explore whatever causes that resonate with you based on different criteria and go ahead and donate to them. As an activist, whether you're in this example, Nanak Nam or Sikh Coalition or Khalsa Aid or a number of partners that we have, if you're not on our website, you can also go ahead and join our website as an organization and start your projects there as well. So that's what this fund network is. dvnetwork.org is where we do our fundraising and help inspire giving and get folks to have more funds for their work. What we want to do is that we do have some baselines, as I mentioned. It's not just about giving, it's about giving to high impact activism. And so right now, the way I think about it is that we're nonprofit to nonprofit. To fundraise on our website, you must have nonprofit status or must be physically sponsored by one so that you for your effort. So again, it's not like GoFundMe, it's not like those other Kickstarter or other website where anybody can go and fundraise. There is a vetting process where we have to see what your nonprofit status is. Are you aligned with the Sikh values of Sewa and hard work and accountability and transparency? You have to be willing to submit this app and go through an approval process. But the way I also describe us is that we, as this fund network, don't necessarily only focus on one issue. We're issue agnostic. You can go, if you want to give to social justice, you're doing education, you're doing humanitarian aid, you're doing youth development, you're doing technology, you're doing innovation. As long as it's work for the community and it's helping create a positive impact, we're agnostic of that. We want you to join our website. We want donors to give based on where they really feel like they want to go. We also like to make sure that there isn't redundancy or these groups meeting a need that isn't already being met. Would the community be excited to give to them? We do have this very center focus around the community and what the community says and wants to give to. And so that's at the forefront of what we're often doing. This is a very funny picture. It's actually of me. I know some people say when they see this picture that they can't recognize me. As many of us can attest to, we changed in many different shapes over time. A little bit introduction specifically to myself is I joined this fund network to work on this mission that we're talking about so far 2 years ago. Although we started 11 years ago, I've only been involved the last 2 years as a full-time staff. I was hired as the executive director. I'm originally from New York City, born and raised, did a bunch of different Sewa in New York City. Then I moved to California as part of work. I was working in business and in technology as part of Silicon Valley. And recently I moved back to New York to be closer to family, but also work on this fund full-time as my job. I love hiking, climbing, dancing. I love, being tied with Sangat and doing Sewa like a lot of us do. I'm excited to be back in New York where my roots are, to continue obviously working on this national vision of this fund, but also getting involved locally. So 2 years ago, I was hired as a full-time staff. Since then, we've made one additional staff hire. And so we're a full-time team of 2. Mahadi Sirit is our marketing manager. Super excited to have her. She joined a couple months ago. She is originally from Bangladesh, lived in the Philippines, and now lives in Virginia. Awesome background and experience working at the State Department, a bunch of other nonprofits as well. We're lucky to have her here at this fund and helping us grow our audience, our Sangat base, but also our group of activists that are on the platform. Where have we been historically, and where are we going? As part of this talk, I wanted to say, here's our vision. Here's what we're doing, where you can go on our website and check it out, whether you're an activist yourself and want to list your project, if you're looking for causes to give on a regular basis. What we've made an investment in the staff and resources because we really believe we've only scratched the surface of this fund. In our platform in 2019, before 2019, we always fundraise about less than $500,000. And we know that given how many Sikhs there are in the US alone and how much this fund potential there is, that's only scratched the surface. So that's why Mahadi and I joined DVN, to help kind of get more Sikhs to get involved and donate and list projects, because we think that there's so much more Sewa that needs to be done that our community is already doing, but can do. So we're on that right trajectory right now. We, as I mentioned, under $500,000 in 2019. My first year, we jumped almost double to about 900K plus in 2020. Last year, we jumped double again, and we raised close to $2 million for Sikh activists and organizations. And so that's an incredible feat, and we're really excited about it. We have renewed energy with our staff. We have energy with a lot of great partners, other Sikh groups that IIGS being one of them. But we also, are working on this idea of accountability and transparency and giving Sangat more updates and more information on what's going on, and holding all of us accountable to Sangat money to make that impact. With that, we're excited about the growth, and why I'm fired up and excited to be here, and Mahadi's excited to be here, is that we've only scratched the surface of how much giving our community can give. I think that right now, if you go on our website and you explore projects, you'll find more projects that need funding than are funded. The need in the community, as the community grows, is only growing, and there's so much for us to do together. And hence why I'm here full time, leaving Silicon Valley, why Mahadi's here, why our board is so involved and engaged, why we have so many great partners willing to work with us and talk with us and support us, because we really believe that there's so much more money out there that could be used to propagate and move forward all these other funds that we have, all these partners that we have. Where are we going as an organization? Yes, we want to fundraise more and more for the 60+ partners that we have on our website, the other nonprofits, but we want to be more than that. We're the only organization of our kind, from that I know also internationally, that is focused on inspiring this fund within the Sikh community and working as an ecosystem of partners. This is the biggest network of groups of organizations that I know within the Sikh community. And I think there's so much value that we have with our ecosystem of donors, but also our activists. And as we grow and increase the amount of giving, we also want to grow as an organization. We want every Sikh to know about DVN, and so they can go and check and think about their giving and find all these awesome sources. We want to be really easy and have multiple products for people to use. We also, not only that, but we want to be thought leaders in the space. being that we're in this unique position, what's happening in the Sikh activism space? What's going on? How can people partner? How can we connect people? And in addition to connecting people, how can we start more activism and incubate new projects and new Sevadars in the next generation to continue working to make the world the way that our gurus set out for us to want to build it towards? You're here listening to this talk. We love your help. I appreciate your time again. But, there's always, we can't do this alone. We need everybody's help to move and go towards this direction and this vision. So what's the number one thing you can do? If you're already not on our platform, go ahead and join us on our platform. As I mentioned on dvnetwork.org, you can go on our website and it'll bring you here, and you can go ahead and log in on our website and create a user account, and you can even sign in with Gmail. I know that some of you are also on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Follow us, figure out, see what projects we're doing. Maybe it interests you. Maybe you know somebody who could be interested. The number one thing I can ask for is join our family of donors and supporters. Secondly, I would love it if you can help us spread the word. There are so many folks or groups that are not yet on our platform. Let them know this resource exists. Yes, we want people to give, but we also want to help and incubate, the next wave of activism and get the funding that we need. So there's so many nonprofits there. I know there's some in your community. We'd love to have them join us and connect with us. Lastly, what you can specifically do is, I already mentioned it, the need that we have in our community, whether it's humanitarian aid projects or youth development projects, or starting a Khalsa school, or it's the Sikh Coalition, or it's other brands that internationally, new ones that you don't. So many people have needs for different projects and impact, because everybody is growing, not only just us. All Sikh activism and nonprofits are growing. There are causes there that I'm sure you'll like and you didn't know about, that you would want to resonate with, that are newer, that are fun, some that you might know about. So please, if you have the capacity and the means, whether it's $10 is the minimum donation to thousands of dollars, whatever you have the capacity for this year, would love for you to poke around in our website and find causes that really speak to you. Lastly, I know you might be some young folks on the call. I love, again, I speak of the young generation. I try to mentor as well personally. I know that really the future is in the youth, and we want to figure out how we can get you involved and help out and build, so that one day you're the executive directors of this Dasvandh network and the hundreds of other nonprofits that we'll have that are Sikh-led. And so what are ways that we can really help in this journey with the youth as well? We'd love for you to intern and volunteer. We offer, in the summer, we have 2 interns this year. We're happy to take more next summer as well. We have the capacity for it. If you're looking to volunteer and intern throughout the year as well, you want to do 5 hours a week, a couple hours a week, there's no shortage of Sewa and work we can do together as a group. The other initiative that we have is called Dasvandh Box. If you Google it as well, and we can share the link to the deck with everybody as well. But this Dasvandh Box is an initiative and a lesson plan that we have, where for young folks, where we can teach you about what Dasvandh is, and we have these little cute boxes where you can start saving change and dollars, that you can do it at your local Gurdwara Sahib, you can do it at your local school. And the idea around the lesson plan and program is to get youth involved and trying to save with whatever they have and get them and instill these concepts within there. So if you're a young person in high school or college, would love to get your help to do this Dasvandh Box locally in your Gurdwaras in your communities. If you're a parent or of these young youth and you want to take a look at it as well, it's a great initiative to get started, to start teaching about giving at a regular cadence very early on. Again, thank you so much. I know there's so much going on in the world and continues to do that. There's so much ways you can spend your time and your energy, but I'm so grateful for IIGS and all our listeners and people tuning in for this opportunity for us to come speak and share a little bit about DVN. Of course, I'm happy to always answer questions. Our entire team gets the info at dvnetwork.org. So if you have any questions about anything that I covered during this call or after the call, please just email us. We'd be more than happy to help. You want to volunteer, you need the link for Dasvandh Box. You have activists that might be interested in joining. Do not hesitate. Please go ahead and message us. I'm working on this full time, would love to help out however I can. Thanks again for taking some time to listen to us. I really appreciate it. And you'll hopefully hear from me more shortly. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Dear Mandeep, you're amazing. You did a great job. So proud of you, Achu. So glad you could join us, and glad you're sitting late from New York and joining us. I know it's 11 o'clock, so we won't hold you for too long, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to add anything you missed out.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The pleasure's all mine and no problem at all. I love all the work that you and IIGS do. The Kirtan tonight was absolutely incredible. So I appreciate being a part of this. I not much to add. I'm happy to answer any questions, but generally everybody got the gist of what we're doing in the Dasvandh network. Would love everybody's support. Happy to figure out how we can all work together too, if there's Sewa happening in your community. So I'm open for any questions. Happy to fill in any gaps that anybody might have.
Awesome. While people put their thoughts together for any questions, anyone who wants to ask a question, please feel free to unmute yourself or add your question in the chat box. By the way, Mandeep has put his email address, mandeep.singh@dvnetwork.org, if you want to reach out to him directly. And we encourage you to do that. We don't want us to be the middle people for anything. We want you to reach out to them directly. That's why we invite guests here. We want them to build their brand. The Swan Network is doing an amazing job. I mean, a lot of people in the US know them, but they are not that well known outside of this country. And I think it would be great if we can give him our love, support the organization. And we have a relationship with them for the last, I think, 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, definitely. We've been, Darbari Khalsa, we've done some fundraising there in the past with IIGS. Generally, not just for DVN, but IIGS pages are live on this Dasvandh network. So it's another way to support the organization, if in addition to donating directly the way that you normally might. And so that's totally there. We also have, I will say one thing I'll add I didn't cover, is that we have different opportunities and programs throughout the year where we'll match donations to certain groups, and depending on what anonymous donors are doing. But the main really big event that we have where we match donors is the Dasvandh Week. That happens in November. It's after Gurpurab, and it's a week period where we want people to give so bad. We'll say, I'd go and fundraise a ton of money. So say any donation you make to any group on our website will be matched. And so, if you're a supporter of IIGS, you might have already done this in the past, but if you give during this one week in November, we'll match your donations as well. And so there's all these other benefits in addition to just collecting money that we do offer groups throughout the year.
Absolutely. And we have taken advantage of that match in the last couple of years, and it has been wonderful. As you know, IIGS gives out scholarships to budding Sikh students. So far, I think we are given over $50,000 in all these years, and you guys have played a little part in it with your help, and so we thank you for that. We really appreciate you joining us. We can chat all day long, but we'll give an opportunity for others to chat. If anybody has any questions, anybody wants to ask a question, stage is all yours.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Mandeep. This is Gurneet Singh, and first of all, I wanted to congratulate you for such a platform. I'm looking forward towards this one box. My son was sitting right beside me, and he was like, "Okay, we'll go to YouTube, Google, and see what it is all about." I had one question. So this is related to, let's say, for example, when we looking for, this is some of my experience. Whenever we're looking for donations locally, like me being from Canada or sometimes in India, right? First thing the donor asks is whether I'm gonna get the tax benefit. How does the platform helps, or whether there is a facility to get that kind of help?
Haji Haji, that's a great question, and thank you, Virji, for bringing it up. I put the Dasvandh box link in the chat as well, so you don't have to go dig through it. So if you want to grab that and you and your son want to take a look, it's right there. In terms of tax deductibility, as Uncle G said, we are a US-based nonprofit. This is where we're kind of have our main presence. Our second biggest country of donors is Canada and India, and then third is India. In terms of tax deductibility, we can give tax deductible receipts for any projects and organizations on our platform if you are a resident of the United States of America. So if your billing address and where you input in the website, you will get a tax deductible receipt. We yet cannot offer tax deductibility for Canada or India, just because it is a bit of a legal process that takes a couple of years to be recognized as a charity in different nations. That's on our long-term strategy over the next few years. Canada, UK, and India are kind of the main ones we'd like to figure out because we have so much Sangha there. So right now, if you're Canadian, we do collect donations from 13 countries. So if you're Canadian on the call, you can donate. If you're in India, you can donate. America, you can of course donate, and then 10 other countries, Australia, New Zealand, different African and European countries. I cannot give you a tax receipt if you're outside the United States, but you can donate. And over time, we will add more and more countries where we give tax deductibility.
Thank you. Got it.
Thank you for a great question.
And donations shouldn't be restricted to a receipt or donation receipt for a write-off. Sikh, this month is not a Sikh's money, it's Guru's money. So that should be given away. But great question, Gagan. Thanks for asking. Any other questions? If anybody has any questions, please unmute yourself. I hope you are able to unmute yourself, or you can put the question in the chat box.
While we get another question, Uncle D, what I can add really quickly is if you're also on this call and you work for a company, that's another amazing way to increase your Dasvandh if you're not aware already. I'll put another link in the chat in a second where if you work for a major US company or even Canada International, donations can sometimes be doubled by your corporation. So if anything you give on DVN, you can get your employer to match. Sometimes some groups give 2, 3, 5,000. A company, Johnson & Johnson, matches up to 20,000. So if you are working in, in a tech or a business company and you haven't already, please make sure to check whether you give to IIGS directly or Dasvandh or through, or any other groups. It's an easy way to give more back. It takes 5-10 extra minutes of your time to have a big impact as well, in case folks aren't aware of that.
Well, that's a great point. Glad you brought it up. Dell matches about 10K. I think Microsoft does about 6. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for sharing the link as well.
Definitely.
And if we don't have any other questions, then I definitely don't want to hold you back late night. And want to thank you again for joining us and for such a beautiful presentation. And you're such a charm. I want to thank you again for always being available, especially after learning today that you are just a small team and you're still able to get around to everyone in a very timely manner. So shows your sincerity and hard work that you're putting into this organization. And we want to wish you all the very best. And IIGS has your back. Anytime you need any help, we are here for you. Any message you want to give, this is your platform. Please feel free to come back and share whatever you guys are doing. And we'll put up a reminder for the November week when it comes around, and so everybody can take advantage of it.
No, thank you for those kind, Uncle G. Honestly, what I will say, we're thinking about Guru Sahib today, and that's why IIGS is, of course, in this session. And it feels like an immense privilege to, every single day wake up and focus on this work and think about it, and that's Guru Sahib Di Kirpa for me and my life. So very grateful to be here, very grateful to talk. It doesn't feel like work, which is an amazing part of this all, and is good as Hokum. So thank you again. And then I know there's IIGS Facebook pages and news lists, and if any other major updates, we'll share to partner and share those with you, so you can share it with the rest of the group.
Awesome. And we'll have this video separately on YouTube in a couple of days. So if people don't want to go through a whole hour and a half of video, they'll be able to watch the end part of it and enjoy it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mandeep. That brings us Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Bacho. So that brings us to the end of today's program. I want to thank the entire Sangat for joining us. We will be back next Saturday, which will be the first Saturday of August. We will be covering the 23rd Ashtapadi. Yes, it's 22 months ago we started with the first Ashtapadi. Honestly speaking, we never knew we'll be getting this far out. As you all know, we started with a 3-day program, and now we are into the 112th next week, which I feel is Guru's Bakshish. So 23rd Ashtapadi Sukhmani Sahibs will be covered in next program. Please join us. Also wanted to, if you're in Southern California, there's a special Diwan coming up. It's organized by, hold on, let me look up the info to give you the right info. It's going to be at Biana Park Gurdwara Sahib, and I'm not able to find it right now. Can you share my laptop? Just a quick one. Sorry, let me just take a quick second, but I will be able to give you that information. It's a beautiful program. Paisa Ranjit Singh Ji organizes it every year. It has been organized for years, and we definitely wanted to share that information with the Sangat, so you all can be part of it. And it's called Malhar Rag Darbar. It's on August 6th, Friday. The timings are 6 p.m. onwards. It's at Gurdwara Biona Park. Paisa Sarbjit Singh Ji Rangila will be there. Professor Ranjit Singh Ji, Paisa Anantveer Singh Ji, and many others. Bibi Simrat Kaur Ji from Toronto will also be there. So for any questions, please feel free to call Professor Ranjit Singh Ji at 714-928-8746. Again, the number is 714-928-8746. I hope everyone can be there in large numbers and enjoy the beautiful program. Thank you again for joining. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Till then, please take care of yourself, stay in good health, do your Naam Simran and Nitnem. Guru Angsang, Guru Rakha, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.